Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Taylor and I'm the advocate of the devil. There are many things that I pride myself on, sinful as pride may be, but one thing that I hold above all else is the truth. Whether it be in this very show or in real life, opinionated as it may be, I've always tried to be as honest as possible. It's the easiest way for you guys at home to know where I stand, and that whether you agree or disagree, that's your prerogative. I myself have never liked lying. By its very nature, it paints you in a negative light. You can't trust someone who lies, and all it takes is one lie to call into question everything that has ever been said by the liar. In all forms of conversation, telling the truth is 100% the way to go. But here's the thing. Not often, but sometimes, there are some damn good reasons to lie. We're going to start this one off with arguably the biggest lie a lot of us have heard as children. No, it's not that we can be anything we want to be when we grow up. It's not that there's an invisible man in the sky judging whether we're good or bad when we die. It's Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
There is no Easter Bunny! Over there, that's just a guy in a suit!
Okay, fine. This only works if you're raised Christian, but it's my show, so it's my rules. The concept alone of Santa is just plain ridiculous. A fat man in a red costume flies all around the world in one night on a sleigh led by 8 magical reindeer, 9 if you're a fan of Christmas carols, squeezes his chocolate chip cookie ass down a chimney to deliver presents to the good little boys and girls that he's been spying on for the last 364 days. What about people who don't celebrate Christmas? How does he know to skip over those people? How come I only got a coloring book, but little Jimmy down the road got a 4K TV and a PS4 Pro? What about those families that don't own chimneys? Or what happens if your Aunt Susie just invited your family over for Christmas weekend? Will Santa know that you won't be home on the 25th of December? All of these questions, and I'm sure there are more that I didn't think of, easily and safely answered by lying. Parents and other various family members have opted more and more in telling the truth to their children about everything. About your bodies, about sex, about death, about being true to oneself, and this is all good. However, in some ways, just telling people things takes away a child's chance to discover things on their own, learning and growing by questioning things. If you just hand the information to someone, there's a certain lack of respect and responsibility for that knowledge.
You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility.
Santa Claus, in a way, keeps the magic alive, at least for a time. Lying about who Santa really is allows a child to grow up with imagination, with the ability to discover things on its own, even if that discovery is the fact that Santa doesn't actually exist. Secondly, we all have jobs. Sometimes you're sitting at a desk, and other times, like myself, you deal with customers. At customer service jobs, there are many times where lying is not only a given, but it's practically required. Do you enjoy taking time away from your hobbies, dreams, and loved ones just to deal with angry, ignorant, entitled, pushy people?
I'm not even supposed to be here today!
Probably not. But after serving someone at the cash, what's the first thing you say? Have a nice day. If you're at the cash, they'll ask you how you're doing. They don't really care how you're doing. Most times they aren't even fully paying attention to you. They're making sure that the price they saw is the right one, or more specifically, hoping that the price is wrong so they can try and get the product for free.
The price is wrong, bitch.
And do you respond with the truth? I really need to take a nap. I want to go home. I only show up here because rent is 3 weeks past due. No, absolutely not. You respond with the least enthusiastic response that exists to humanity. I'm fine. How are you? As they watch you ring up their stuff, or they're holding up their finger to you since they're on their cell phone talking as loudly as possible about all the things that actually matter to them. And your coworkers or your boss, do you ever tell them everything that's going on in your life? Probably not. The truth of the matter is, you lie. You tell everyone that everything is fine, that your life is as normal as humanly possible, so that they essentially leave you alone to deal with the mountains of work that needs doing. And worst of all, we lie to ourselves on this. We keep saying that if we just tough it out one more year, we may be up for a promotion. We jokingly belittle the position that we're in, when in actuality, deep down inside, it's eating us up. When the boss does something we disagree with, so long as we need to keep collecting our paychecks every other week, we don't yell and scream at them. We suck it up, deal with it, and then probably bitch about it to our friends once a week at the bar when we've got to drown our discontent. Lying in this situation is what keeps us going. For that brief instant, we can almost believe it. And finally, the one big lie that's told to almost every single person on the planet. Things like this. Well, not specifically this show, but things like it. Television and movies and video games and books. Dragons don't really exist, but in a video game, you can suspend your disbelief long enough to grab a digital sword and smite one. Or shoot magical spells at it from a safe distance so that your virtual self doesn't get eaten.
The greatest of feasts.
Television shows are just lies wrapped up in 22 to 40-ish minutes. Sure, there's some basis in truth in there. A story that really happened gets exaggerated by the characters on the show. A universal situation that applies to us all.
True story.
But they're actors. At its very core, they're professional liars, getting paid to tell stories that we keep tuning in, wondering if Ted will ever find the mother of his children, if Angel will ever do enough good to become human again. Fantasy, science fiction. Fiction is the key word right there, since it's made up, a falsehood, a lie. Writing, acting, video games, it's the closest thing that humanity gets to being able to be God. In the form of the first two, it's creating something where there was nothing but there before. Taking whatever ideas and creativity you have up in your noggin and making it public in a dramatic and exciting way. And if you're good at it, the audience can suspend their disbelief at what's going on and stay hooked on the story. And video games? Well, who hasn't been a one-man army in a video game? What an absolute crock. If the situations that were in video games also happened in real life, you would need an army of people to get any real thing done. But that's just it right there. Video games aren't real, nor is a book or a movie. It's all a lie, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, I do hope I managed to shed some light into the truth about lying. Whether it be in a holiday that we use as an excuse to spoil our friends and families, or even the daily lies we tell just to keep putting one foot in front of the other, lying is just one of the few traits that separate us from the beasts we think we're above. It keeps the wheels going, which keeps us as a society moving forward. And when our day-to-day is done, we can sit back and relax. We escape our realities into worlds built by other people. Fake situations, unreal world, beautiful lies, every single one of them. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for a new piece of my mind every Wednesday at noon. And click the link in the description below to follow us on Twitch as we attempt to make it through some kind of fake world that we would much rather be a part of. And let us know in the comments below what you think. Good? Bad? Undecided? Let your verdict be heard. But don't forget to be honest about it. By all means, bring up all of your points against my own, so that I may proceed to prove you wrong.
Kaboom! You've been lawyered.
But for now, in the case of lying, the defense rests. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This was a terrible, terrible experience for me. But Chris, happy freaking birthday.